Silence your cell phones now.
Trent!
Kara!
Come here!
Hey, have you seen my children?
Mom? I'm right here.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei and Place to Be Chill. Mr. A&E back to give you guys another movie experience for the newest M. Night Shyamalan movie that is coming out. It came out in theaters, and that is Old. Old is talking about a family that takes a tropical vacation on this beach, and while they're on the beach, they meet up with these other families, but something mysterious is happening to them on the beach as they cannot explain it, as they are starting to just get older. And the more time they stay on this beach, the older they're getting, and they're not understanding why. But there's always a hidden twist within these kind of things. So that is basically the premise of it. So here's the thing: I'm from Philly. Okay, we know M. Night. We've been dealing with M. Night for decades. Okay, so here's the thing: I like M. Night Shyamalan, and there's something I do. Look, M. Night has movies that I like, movies that I don't like, and movies that should never exist again. But that is the beauty of M. Night Shyamalan, okay? And there's some twists I'm just like, damn, they don't make that Joe's pop. And some twists is just more like. So with that being said, when they announced the last M. Night Shyamalan movie I saw was Glass. And I was really excited about Glass because I like Unbreakable and Split, which is some of my favorite movies of Shyamalan's. And I was liking Glass, but I don't think they executed that ending. And actually the ending made me more pissed than anything. So I was like, well, let's go on to Old. Let's keep our head open. Let's see what else that he has in this, because it has a very interesting premise. So let's start off with the good. I'll start off with the bad. I'm gonna start off with the experience. Maybe a slight spoiler in the experience, but once again, start with the good. So when it comes to the good here in the movie, first of all, I like the actors in this movie. I don't know them all by name, but it's a very interesting scenario. So M. Night Shyamalan, there's a lot of twists, and there's a lot of things that are planted into the movie that are callbacks later into the movie, which I can't obviously get into it unless I do like a whole full spoiler review of it. But the whole thing is, like, I enjoy the actors that portray these parts, because especially the kid actors, the actors that play the kids as they're growing up, because you got these kids that are 6 years old that have gone to teenagers in like literally hours, and next thing you know, they still have to act like they're 6 years old as teenagers, and as the process goes on. So I like that about that. There's a lot of scenarios with the different people on the beach, and you're wondering like what necessarily is going on, because each family on that beach, the person on that, has some kind of things that's going on with them. You have the couple that's there that is going through a divorce because the wife cheated on him, and she's living in the past, he's living in the future, but none of them is living in the present, which plays a part into the movie. And you have one doctor that's on there that's a very aggressive guy, kind of a racist guy, but he is also schizophrenic. There's another person that's on there that has epilepsy, and everybody, there's these sicknesses on there, and there is on there for the reason that does play into the part of the story, especially coming to the end of the story. But it's the scenarios on there was just kind of cool, and seeing how it had you on the edge of seat, because you was like, I don't know why they're growing. Now this is based off the graphic novel called Sandcastle, which I never read, but Shyamalan took off, and it was inspiration for this thing. And I know that he changed the ending. I can tell Shyamalan got his fingerprints all over that ending. I like the scenarios, and it kept me on the edge of my seat, because I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm intrigued to know what's going to happen here. And with these Shyamalan movies, there's going to be a twist that's going to come. But right now, before I even thought about that, I'm just into what's going on right now, what's right in front of me, because you're like, these people are getting old, and you can't tell why. The kids are getting physically old, but the adults are getting just old, like they start losing their memory and their sight, and there's just certain things and scenarios that's happened to these people. And there's a lot of creepy scenes in this movie. There are a lot of like dark scenes in this movie, and bruh, it gets depressing, man, because Shyamalan is showing you your immortality, about that, how getting old is. There is a nice scene towards the end, but I was just like, yo, this thing is kind of, this is heartbreaking, because I'm not trying to give anything away, but I'm just know that you're in for a ride. That's one thing I like about movies. You're in for a ride, and if you go in there and be like, oh God, Shyamalan, let's just see how dumb the twist is, it's going to take away from the movie. If you just focus on, especially these first 2 acts of the movie, it gets you just something, and it's an isolated place. That's what I like. It's just this isolated place. It's not all over the place. It's kind of like Devil, where it was just in the elevator. There was a lot of cheesy and stupid shit about Devil, but you know, it's kind of like one of Shyamalan movies. I'm just like, you know, cause there's things I liked about it, things I didn't like about it. That's how it is. Everything was in that elevator. Everything here is on this beach. So with the M. Night Shyamalan movie, when you have some good, you know, it's gonna be some bad. So let's get into the bad. All right. So for me, when it comes to the bad, you're going to hear different things from different people, okay? To be honest with you about that. And I thought the ending, when it comes to the twist, it's not a spoiler. Everybody knows Shyamalan has a twist at the end of his movies. I felt as though that I've seen this before. And I don't want to tell you what movies I've seen it before, because that will just give it away of what the twist is. But I'm like, when I first seen it, I was like, oh, this is this movie. I've seen this kind of an ending before, and I'm just like, there's probably a different way to handle that. However, if you know, there's no post-credit scene, nothing like that, not that I'm aware of. But sometimes, you know, after you see the initial twist, you're just like, oh, whatever. But there's still more to come, you know. And I'm like, maybe that could help patch it back up a little bit. But at the beginning, that twist, I was just like, I've seen it before. And ain't that, you know, it's a stupid Shyamalan joke, which it kind of is, like I say, but it's been done before. You know, when M. Night has his little fingerprints on stuff like that, and then, you know, there's sometimes there's cheesy dialogue. There's some kinds of, you know, things. It's just like, okay, whatever. But most of it, when it comes to mostly of the bad, like that's kind of like the feeling I had with that. Let's go into the experience / slight spoilers. Okay, guys. So first off, this is the section where I go into like slight spoilers. So if you guys don't want to hear any spoilers, you guys can just go right to the end where I rate the video, rate the movie, or just, you know, in the video right here until you come back until you see it. So the thing about, I said it reminds me of different movies. So when we get to the end, we see that, make sure y'all not here no more, that this is a trial thing that this pharmaceutical company is doing on these people to kind of help them fight all these diseases that these people have, and they're sacrificing these people on the island to try to skim down years of research to find out different kind of things in like a 24-hour period. So their things is more so like, we want these people can die so we can save thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta sacrifice stuff. But they're on like trial set number 73. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, Belko Experiment was the first one that came to my mind. Escape Room was the second one that came to my mind. Like, these are the movies where at the end, the big twist, like they are being watched by a government type thing where they're doing trials to see how the human brain or mind or stuff works under these kind of situations. I'm like, I've seen this before. Well, I thought it may have been something more supernatural, you know, going on with it here. But however, how do I feel about it? Because there are two characters at the end where they think they're dead, but actually end up surviving this whole thing and, you know, shutting this whole thing down. And that's like another twist within itself, which I was kind of cool with. But it's like, I kind of seen this already, and I'm like, so how is this drug that they're giving these people that's coming on this beach before, making them so right by that? Because they're giving them some kind of drug in their cocktails when they first get there, and it's like, this is what deteriorating them. And I'm just like, man, this is kind of some heartless shit, but I've seen it before. But guys, that is my take on Old. I mean, I think it's one of the better movies of M. Night Shyamalan, in my personal opinion. I don't hate it as much. People could probably hate it because of the twist ending type thing, but it was very emotional. It's going to leave you on the edge of your seat, especially like me on the edge of my seat, especially being in an isolated area like that, especially at the beginning where you don't know what's going on, to the point where I almost felt as though that this movie, you could have probably just had it end at one point, and we probably not even have a twist, and that would have been crazy. You know, but it's just like, hey, that's necessarily what's going on here. So when it comes to old, I think I'm going to give old a hashtag give it a chance. I still that grade can either go up to a B- or down some. But I'm gonna go right to the hashtag give it a chance thing because I'm still trying to sleep on how I feel about that ending and how would I rank it type thing. But post your comments down below. Have you guys gonna see M. Night Shyamalan's old? Are you guys done with M. Night Shyamalan, or are you still like, hey, I still got to support M. Night because the new M. Night thing is coming out because I just gotta go see it. So post your comments down below. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review. Hit the subscribe button for more movie experiences right here on NC Studios. So it's NC a place to be. Show Mr. A.